If you're a small business owner who dreams of having an AI that can actually do the work, just like an employee can, then OpenCode is the tool for you. This isn't like ChatGPT where you ask a question, get a response, and then you have to take that response and copy and paste it all around. OpenCode works on your computer and is able to interact with your files and with all the systems that you want to connect it to. You can use it to fill out online forms. You can use it to write software for you to make your day easier. You can even edit videos with it. Really, the ability for you to automate your work is up to your imagination with this tool. So today I'm going to show you how to install OpenCode and get it running on your computer so you can start playing around with this and building the employee of your dreams. So before we get into installing OpenCode, let's just quickly run through what makes it different to using something like ChatGPT. So when you use ChatGPT, what you're doing is you're using your computer to send messages to the computer on the cloud that ChatGPT is hosted on. And because of that, it can do a lot of useful things, like it can search the web and find answers for you, give you instructions. It's still got the power of the AI model, but it is limited in the fact that it can't actually do anything on your computer. So what OpenCode does is it basically creates something called a harness. And this harness allows it to live on your computer and perform actions on your computer. And what that means is that it will have access to files, folders, programs. It can rearrange things on your computer that you want rearranged or cleaned up. It can help you clean up memory. It can do all sorts of different things on your computer specifically. But also you can ask it like, hey, I want to connect to my Gmail or my Drive or my Notion or to GitHub if I'm developing things or to my CRM. And it can actually help build those integrations on your computer. And that kind of brings this amazing connection between your personal computer and all the things that you're connected to or need to connect to for your business, which allows it to do pretty much anything. And I know that's a big statement, but yeah, it can really, it's up to your imagination what you want to connect to this thing and allow it to do. Okay, so from that, the real difference is that when you use ChatGPT, you ask him something like, can you pull up my briefing from Notion? Or you ask him, hey, can you help me rearrange my folder on my computer? What he's going to do is he might search the web, but he's going to say something like, here's how you can do that. And he's going to give you step 1, step 2, step blah, 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 blah. And you have to do it yourself, right? He can give you advice, but you have to do it yourself. And when you use something like OpenCode and you say, hey, can you pull up my briefing from Notion? If he doesn't know how to connect to Notion yet, he's going to help you set it up. He's going to say something like, okay, let's build a connection and then I'll do it. So immediately he's going from someone who's just giving you advice to do things on your own to someone who's actually going to handle it for you. There's a few ways you can download OpenCode. The first one, if you're really uncomfortable with the terminal, then I recommend you get the desktop app. They have it in Mac, Windows, and Linux, which you can just click the download button over here. For me personally, I love using the terminal, so I'm going to be doing that, which is using this command over here to install it. Another tool that I recommend you get is a code editor. Now, even if you're not writing code and you're just building business documents or you're creating workflows, what this will allow you to do is to look and navigate through the files that are created, which will make it a lot easier and give you visibility on what your OpenCode agent is actually doing. So I recommend you download it. So I'm on Linux, so that's why it's showing me these ones here, but you can get it for Windows and also Mac as well by just clicking download over here and installing it. So to open OpenCode, once you've installed it, all you need to do is type OpenCode, hit enter, and then it's going to pop up just like this. Another thing you can do if you want is you can open up your VS Code, which I do by typing code and then full stop. And then let me just drag it over here. So now we've got our Visual Studio Code open. If you don't have the terminal down here open, what you can do is you can do Control plus Shift and then the dash key like that. And if you do those, this will pop up. And after that, all you have to do is type OpenCode over here. And then OpenCode will pop up at the bottom. And in VS Code, here's where you'll have your files and folders and things like that. Just as an example, what I can do is I can say to our agent over here, could you make me a file called hello.txt, which just welcomes people to OpenCode? And if I type that, what you'll see is he's going to create a file over here, and it should say welcome to OpenCode. So if I click that, you can see it says welcome to OpenCode. Personally, for me, I like to have them running side by side, and this is because I can have multiple OpenCode sessions on one screen, and then I have like the second screen that can have the editor, and that just allows me to run more things at once. But we don't have to really get into that right now. The main thing that we'll discuss is really just to toggle OpenCode, like what you can actually do inside it and how it works. Once you're in OpenCode, the first thing you want to do is connect your language models. So the way to do that is you do / and then connect. And after you've done that, you're going to see this menu pop up. And there's a few different options you can choose from. So the first one is OpenCode Zen. So this is actually the service provided from OpenCode itself, and it allows you to connect to a whole bunch of different models. So you can choose like the Claude models, OpenAI models, Gemini models, as well as all these Chinese models and open source models. I typically like to use that when I want to use like a fast model, like Kimi 2.5. That one's really, really good. I use it a lot. He has a pretty good personality too. But if you have like an OpenAI subscription, for example, over here, you can click on that one and you can connect your Plus or Pro plan that you have through OpenAI directly into OpenCode. So that's something I'm also doing because you can get a lot more token usage out of it. I actually have both of these connected, so I can kind of swap in between them. And you have the option to really connect whatever you want. So you can connect Google, Anthropic, Copilot, and all these other ones that I haven't really touched. But there's a lot of different options for you to connect your LLMs to OpenCode. So there's a couple things that will really make the experience a lot easier for you. And the first one is how to select different kinds of agents. When you start OpenCode, you're only going to have two default agents, and that's going to be build and plan. To move between them, all you have to do is hit the tab button. So right now you can see here we've got builds. If I hit tab, it means that we're in plan. The main difference between them is that plan's not actually going to write anything. He's going to just discuss with you and kind of flesh out the idea that you want to do. So if you want to build some kind of software, some kind of workflow, you want to connect your OpenCode system to your Gmail or whatever it is, first, I would recommend you talk to the plan model and speak to him about exactly what you want to do, flesh it out. And then once it's fleshed out, then you can hit tab again and you can move to the build model. And he's going to be the one that actually implements things for you. The next thing that you need to know is how to change the models. So to change the model, you press Control X, and when you see it go gray like that, that means you're in the command mode. So you press Control X and then press M, and then you can see all the different models. So these are the most recent ones. They're the ones that I've been using. But if you scroll down, you have all of the OpenCode Zen models over here, which you can see there's just an absolute mammoth load of them. So you got the GPT models, Minimax, which are the Chinese models, GLM5, lots of different ones to try. And then if you've connected your OpenAI subscription too, then you're going to have things like Codex, as well as the GPT models. A lot of my ones are up here because those are the ones that I used recently, but it'll all be there and you can just switch between them. So if you don't want to use GPT 5.4 and you want to use Kimi instead, you can just hit enter and then it's going to use that model. Another really useful one is being able to switch between sessions. So when you're using a chat version of AI, typically you have like a chat history on the left, which you can kind of click through. The way to do it here is you press Control X and then L. And when you do that, you'll see that you have a whole bunch of different chats here that you have previously discussed with your agent. So for example, we just made one which was to create the hello world. And as you can see, it pops up here. And whenever you want to switch between them, you just press Control X, L, and then you can select a different chat that you want to go to. So if you're in a chat and you want to start a new conversation, then all you have to do is press Control X and then press N, and it'll take you back to the main page where you can start your new conversation. So let's put OpenCode to use and show you just a very, very small snippet of what he can do. So I've created a spreadsheet over here, which has a bunch of messy expenses. I'll show you here. And it just looks like this. So we've got dates that are all completely crazy. We've got descriptions, we've got money in all these different currencies, and we want to make sense of this and hopefully build some kind of report or visualization of what's going on. So what I'm going to do is go to my OpenCode and I'm going to tell him that we have this sheet and it's all messed up and we want to make it a lot cleaner. So we'll just start off by going here and saying, hey, we have an expense sheet that is super duper messy. Could you please neaten it up and make sure everything is clean and aligned? And I'm trying to be pretty vague here to just see what he does. And afterwards, could you also fill in, or could you also put them into neat categories so we can understand what's going on? Hit enter. And now he's going to get to work and figure out how to neaten everything up. And we should have a very neat spreadsheet afterwards. Okay, so he's done a whole bunch of different work here. First, he starts thinking about it, reading what's going on, and then he ran some code to clean everything up and categorize it. And the result is this. So the one on the left is what we started with, and the one on the right is what he created. And I wasn't very specific about what I wanted him to do. I just said, put him into categories, neaten things up. And as you can see, he's really made everything a lot neater. So we have uniform values here for the numbers, the dates, as well as the categories as well. And that all was done just from him figuring it out on his own. So pretty awesome. So we can then take this wherever we want. If we wanted to, we could tell him, hey, can you send this report via email? And he'll help you set up how to connect to your Gmail or email account and start sending this off to people. Or you can ask him to build a graph or a chart about the data as well. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to ask him, hey, we really need to visualize this data. Could you create a pie chart that shows me the expenses visually and then save it as an image? And I'm going to hit enter. And after that, he's going to get to work, figure out how to do that. And then I'll check back in with you guys once he's done. Okay, so he's done figuring out how to build the pie chart, and this is what he's come up with, which is pretty amazing. So I gave him a pretty vague instructions, but he figured out how to do it, and pretty awesome for a first try. So yeah, it's impressive. It's really impressive. So look, the world's your oyster with OpenCode. You can use it to do whatever you want. It has access to files on your computer, and it can really just, run code and figure out how to do things for you. And it's really up to you how you decide to use this. What are the most pressing things in your business or your job that you want to handle? And then you can just go ahead and start communicating with him on how to figure it out and how to do it. And he will start doing it for you. So this is just super awesome, super impressive. So I hope this has been useful for you getting started with OpenCode. If you have any questions or things that you would like help with, there's going to be a link in the description where you can book a call with me and we can have a chat. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.